Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Forget Out. Thank you for tuning in, and really the support that I've been getting so far has been amazing. Thank you to everyone who comments on the videos, whether you're DMing, whether it's WhatsApp, or you're checking out the Facebook and the Instagram page. I really do appreciate it a lot. So last week I posted a video on which was titled Passion and Purpose, right? And we basically shared a bit of myself in terms of what I think the distinguishing factor is. Sometimes it's hard to see, sometimes maybe there isn't, but eventually we all need to kind of find the reason why we want to live, or a purpose to live for rather. So today I am also going to get a bit personal. So this today's shoot is going to be a two-part video. There's going to be a part 1 and a part 2 that will be posted later on. So bear with me, get your notebook out, open your thoughts, invite yourself into the space, and let's fork it out. So today, guys, what I want to touch on is the whole new year, new me fallacy, right? And I say fallacy because I think, most of the time people really think that a new year represents new opportunities, a new start and a fresh start, and everything is going to be okay. Sure. Look, I'm not one to discredit that, I'm certainly not a person who is in control of the universe and controls the world. I am not God. But I am a human being. I am a young person who is currently still in the journey of self-discovery, which has been tough and interesting and exciting at times. But I want to share my view on this whole new year, new me fallacy. Right. So 31st of December, New Year's Eve, we're all happy. Oh, 2018 is going to be this, 2018 is going to be that. I'm going to fall in love. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to make a difference in my community. I'm going to get that degree. I'm going to finish my driver's test. There are so many things that we say we're going to do, but we end up never doing. Do you know why? Let me tell you. I personally believe that there is no such a thing as a new year means a new you, right? A new year is literally a new year. All it is the start of a new continuous time. I don't know if that makes sense scientifically, but let's roll with it. 1 year ends and the other starts, right? And then for some reason, we then think that the new year automatically gives us a fresh start, a hope, and yes, it is a fresh start. It is. Time has continued, but in our eyes has ended in 1 year and has started afresh in another year, right? Therefore, we then assume that a new year will bring. No, guys, I personally believe that it's not going to be a new year, which means a new you. A new you is something completely different. First of all, the word new implies that you have something that has either not been, let's say, seen, brought into this world, you have not used before. It's new to you. It's literally new. It's not part of what you've been doing before or doing in the past. It is new to you. So for me, a new you means a couple of things, right? And I made a couple of notes, guys, because I realized that, there's so many things that we think about in a day. And when this topic came to me, I decided to look, let me jot down some notes and we'll go through them as we do the show, right? So please bear with me. Right. So the new me, new fallacy, right? The first question I put down, the first question I put down was, what does a new year represent? Right, personally, we need to take that question and self-apply and ask ourselves right now, take a few minutes or take a few seconds, ask yourself, what does a new year represent? Right, when you do have the answer, and obviously you'll share it to yourself, but for me, a new year literally is a new year. There is nothing that a new year will not bring that last year did not bring, or any other year before, because who you are who you are. You've grown into a certain identity at a certain point in time. You've become comfortable with how you may live life in certain areas. Therefore, a new year does not necessarily mean there's going to be a new you, right? And then again, I asked myself, was that what do I associate a new year with, right? For me, a new year personally is a continuation of what I could not finish or accomplish in the past year. It does not necessarily make me a new Keta. No, all it means is that Keta is self-aware that there were things that maybe I could not complete in the previous year. Therefore, I decide to take the opportunity to say, well, look, this is a long-term goal. Therefore, I will continue until I accomplish it. Not necessarily that it means a new me, right? I put down here is there's certain things that we need to consider when we say a new year will represent a new you, right? Firstly, you need to consider your behavior, right? If your behavior isn't going to change or is the same from the previous year, yet you are claiming a new you, how then do you expect to honestly see positive results? And I'm saying behavior in terms of, work patterns, study patterns, day-to-day patterns. If your weekend routine is that from Friday to Sunday, all you're doing is drinking, you're not exploring, you're not growing culturally, you're not reading a book, you're not doing anything that that help you with self-discovery, then how is that behavior going to give you a new you, right? The other thing we need to consider, which is probably for me the biggest one, is your mental state, right? Is that you can't be saying new year, new me, yet you have not actually taken time to take care of this, to give it the nourishment and the fulfillment that it needs. Because believe it or not, as much as we go to gym to take care of our bodies, and which is obviously the primary objective, but taking care of your mind is just as equally, if not more, important, because everything is centered here. Every thought, every idea, everything is wired here. So we do need to make time and find out how do we, improve when you say it's a new you, right? And, when I'm putting my notebook down, I think the fallacy exists because people are not self-aware, right? You're not self-aware of your own strengths, your own being, if I can put it that way, right? And just to contextualize that, what I mean is you wake up one day, you feel happy. But does anyone know what makes them happy? Are there metrics that we apply to ask ourselves, what makes me happy, generally speaking? Is it the people that I interact with? Is it what I do? Is it gym? Is it driving a car? Is it traveling? Is it having a lot of money? What metrics do we use? When someone walks up to you, oh, how are things doing? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, life is doing great, and, I'm just in a good place. And I'm not saying that, you have to have the answer all the time, but it does not help to question yourself, what makes you happy, right? Before you say, oh, I'm going to be a new me, and this new me is going to be happy. What are the questions that you need to ask yourself to get to that happy state, right? So when it comes to me, right, I failed at this new year, new me fallacy for, I think, a good over 5 years, because every year when obviously I thought I was woke and an adult, every year I said to myself, no, I'm going to be, this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to focus more on my studies, I'm going to, make time to see friends, I'm going to make time to do other things so that I can grow culturally as a person, so that I'm not in a box this whole time, right? And that's one aspect of it, is because I said those things, but I didn't understand what exactly I was saying. I was just thinking that by the virtue of saying it out loud, it will automatically happen, or somewhere along the line, these things will find me or I will find them. That is not the case, right? And to put it more recently is that, recently, and I say recently around 2017, last year, I started hating waking up and going to work, right? Because I got into a place where I wasn't sure what I was doing, whether I was still fulfilling my purpose. Was I still doing the things that I set out to do, or was I just simply, riding the wave? Just going through the motion. Oh, it's a routine. Alarm wakes up. That was me. And I get it was because of, new month, new me. New month, new me means nothing if you don't start here. And you change your attitude. You change your approach into how you look at things. You become a problem solver for your own life. Because let me tell you something. When you go out there into the world, there are only majority problems. And therefore, you need to be a problem solver. Solving your own life. Being more self-aware. Finding out who you are. So that when you know you're not happy, you can exactly say what's not making you happy. That was me. And I didn't know all of this. So I started hating my job. I started hating my life. I started just hating everything around me because I was not self-aware of what I was going through. I just kept masking it. Oh, and let me tell you how I masked it. I got to a point where I said to myself, you know what, Keta, you're a functioning alcoholic now. There was almost a day that didn't go by for a good 2 to 3 months where every day I had to have a glass of wine just to say to myself, I'm a functioning alcoholic. And look, that didn't really get me anywhere. Just to a point where, again, I resented everyday life. But when I woke up one day and I said to myself is, actually, me just saying it's a new month and it doesn't mean anything. Without the action, without the required amount of time and input from you, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. And you won't come out of the horizon. Opportunities won't just land on your doorstep. Sometimes you got to make opportunities. And you make opportunities by the hard work and the passion and the time that you put into self-developing yourself. That's what I learned. And it's funny how, as people, we know these things, but we just tend to overlook them because we think they're not important. We think that, I'm just wasting time. Nothing good will come out of it. I tell you now, I quit gym because I was like, nah, I'm too cool for gym now. I got money and I got this and I got that. Gym is discipline. In almost everything we do, we always need to apply discipline. All that it showed me, I had lost my self-discipline. And again, it's because I was not self-aware. I kept masking the problem, which was me and how I was thinking and how I would wake up and look at life every day. It was not like life. Life will never be fair unless you grab it by the horns and say, listen, it's my time now. I'm going to make something out of my life. I'm going to make sure that I get shit done. That's basically it. You need to be self-aware, absorb everything, take in the bad, so you can decide. How do you know you're in a bad space if you don't have bad energy, or vice versa, good energy? You need to know the good to separate it from the bad. And that's with people. Take away people that don't add value in your life. Ask yourself, if this person adds value in your life, what is that value? Right? Are you self-aware of the people that you hang with? Are you self-aware of the places that you go to? Are you self-aware of yourself? What are you doing every day to change and become a new you? Honestly, ask yourself that. So guys, that's basically it. And just closing is I have this little trophy here. This is from my, primary school days, when we used to have athletics at school and we would do all sorts of sporting codes. And I won a lot of gold, surprisingly enough. A lot of gold and medals and academic certificates, attendance certificates. And, and I've always told myself is that maybe these were a sign that I was meant or was destined for greatness. This might be a sign, sure. But without, again, the action, the input, and the time that is required to make something of yourself, you will not get anywhere in life. You will not reach this new you that you claim you want to reach. Don't do that to yourself. Make time, take action, put in what is required so you can get the desired result. There is no new year, new me. There is only new state of mentality, new attitude, positive attitude, new approach to things, and anything else, anything between is only a distraction. It'll distract you from finding out what your true purpose is. It'll distract you from figuring out what you should be doing with your life. So yeah, don't confuse yourself. Don't follow people who say new year, new me, but never see action. And if you don't believe me, just take a look around the people you hang with. See if they are committed to their dreams as much as you are. See if they are committed to making a change as much as you are. And taking the first step, guys, is never, I would say, easy. It's simple, right? It will be difficult, but it's simple, right? You get to a point where it's only do and don't. There is no new year, new me. All you need to do is start today and take responsibility for your life. Thank you guys for joining. That is basically my message when it comes to this whole new year and new me fallacy. So just some takeaways from the session today is that new year, ask yourself is, what does a new year represent to you, right? What do you associate it with? What is your current state of mentality? And if you want to be a new person, as you say, what steps do you need to do for you to get to that place? And remember, I said it's all about action, time, and putting in the required amount of energy that you need to make sure that you get to the desired state that you want to be. Don't fool yourself, don't play yourself, and most importantly, never, ever, ever doubt yourself. You are valid. Thank you for watching, guys.